music.
Party's not a bat, he's a man who fights crime. And we're gonna watch him fight for a minute at a time. With John and Niall and a guest who doesn't rhyme. It's Bat Minute!
Hello, and welcome once again to Bat Minute Forever, the podcast where we love climbing. We really do, but we've met a minute. And we're going to talk about that minute for as long as we can. I am one of the hosts, Niall McGowan, and the minute we're talking about is in Joel Schumacher's Batman Forever. If you're listening to the show, you know the pitch by now, for Christ's sake. Come on.
I didn't know if you were done.
Oh, yeah, I'm done.
Well,
I'm done. I'm done with this whole show, John. I'm out of here. So we can forget about all this damn
See
stuff.
ya. Death dropping my way into your feed. It is your other host, John Parker. Hello.
Hey. And yeah, once again, for the final time this week, we're joined by Berlin's own Kit Flemons.
Hello, I'm yours in gracious ignorance.
And yeah, we're here today to talk about minute 36 of Batman Forever, which begins with the Chase Meridian sort of deflecting a follow-up date from Bruce Wayne. And it ends 1 minute later with, the Ringmaster. He's not having a good time at the end of this minute.
Again, much like the wrestler, the Ringmaster, who immediately ruined his career by falling over.
The Shockmaster, wasn't it?
Oh.
Or is it? There could well be two different wrestlers who.
No, it is
careers.
the Shockmaster. I'm too tired. Edit that out because that's a really bad one. The Ringmaster is a different wrestler.
Oh, the thing is, the Shockmaster is one of the best things I've ever seen.
Yeah,
in my entire
the
life.
Ringmaster is actually Steve Austin before he was Stone Cold.
Oh my God.
I've just realised I've mixed them up because I'm too tired. So do actually edit that out because I'll have Christopher Dennis DeGardia shouting at me.
That'd be amazing though. Like Steve Austin was playing the Ringmaster.
That'd be amazing.
Let me tell you now, Richard, the youngest flying Grayson, he is gonna do the death drop, and that's the bottom line. Just like shotgunning a beer in the middle of the ring, crushing the can and throwing it up to Bruce Wayne and stuff. But yeah, so we do have Bruce Wayne setting up a date with attempting to set up a date with Dr. Chase Meridian. I really like Nicole Kidman's acting here. She just has like a real, I don't know what it is about her, but she just has like a kind of, just has a real sprightly personality about her.
Yeah,
So
I think here and the previous sort of 2 weeks, she's been really on form. Something I didn't notice when I just watched the movie as a whole. Breaking it down like this, I might not like the character very much, but she's actually doing very well, I think. Because I always just thought, as I said a couple of times now, she's just horny for Batman. That's it. But there's a bit more going on with her. Like the way when she's with Bruce, she's a totally different person. Like she's got the thing she's into, and that's what she likes to do at night. This is separate. This is, more normal. This is her everyday life.
And of course, now they're introducing the classic Lois Lane dynamic, whereas like, well, this guy's trying to get a date with the lady, but she fancies another guy. But that other guy just so happens to be the alter ego of the guy she's sitting right next to. It's like, wah, wah, wah.
Awkward.
Also, Bruce hanging around with Alfred too much because he can't even really cover for himself. Like, he just kind of dropped out of the sky and bang. I think he felt it too. Like, I sure did. Like that's Alfred's shtick to be in the background. Like, well, I believe so. Like, God damn it, Alfred! Keep the cover cool. All right.
I love the way he instantly knows from that description as well that the hot new guy in her life is Batman. Like, he's like, oh no. How am I going to get out of this? This complicates everything.
It'd be amazing though if it turned out it was actually Joe Grafassi. Like the security guard from the bank vault.
Yeah.
It's like he kind of dropped out of the sky on top of that vault and bang, he was right next to me in that room. And then he comes into the circus and is like, oh no, they're doing death-defying acrobatics. It's like, whoa. You like this guy? I hate this guy. How have you met him before? I go to that bank all the time.
Right. Bruce clearly invited her to the circus as a date.
Oh, yeah.
Right. I know he didn't say that, but It was obvious, wasn't it? This was like a date scenario. Quite a formal date, but a date. So she probably should have mentioned earlier, like, just so we're above board here, I am interested in someone else. So this isn't going to be a thing. I'll come to the circus with you. That's fine.
I've been in a situation where you've asked a lady or someone you're attracted to out to something, and the date is implied, but then finding out then they're like, this could be like one of those things like where she's just like, oh, you know what, I don't like this Bruce Wayne guy, so like all of a sudden they go, oh, but now I'll mention that I'm interested in this Batman character.
Yeah, well, it does when he invites her to go rock climbing and that. She instantly looks like she's trying to get out of it.
Yeah.
Like, she's struggling to come up with an excuse and then sort of goes, oh, wait a minute, I do like this other guy. Let's just mention that.
I mean, the dialogue from the Goldsman draft is just not in this finished film, where like she seems to be quite like taken aback by all the attention of the press and stuff. They could have used that as a thing of like, oh, I don't like this. Like, I am not interested in being the trophy, like the arm piece of this press magnate multimillionaire who has all these people freaking fawning over him and taking his photograph every 2 seconds.
But used it as an excuse or what? Because I have no problem with her not being into Bruce Wayne. Like, because that's not the type of guy she likes. She doesn't know who he really is.
Just the way he sort of goes, oh, that's fast work. Seems a bit rude. I'd feel a bit put out if he said that to me.
That is rude. It's a bit like he's calling her like easy.
Yeah.
Shall we say?
I would say it's also like he's calling her out. Like, it's kind of like we're saying, like, oh, she seems to like she must have known this was a date, and now all of a sudden she's decided she doesn't like Bruce Wayne in that way. She's trying to get out of the second date. So her coming up with this, it would be like, oh, well, no, you move fast, don't you? Like,
so you think that maybe he thinks she's lying?
Yeah, I think he potentially does. He's just like, oh, so yeah, you've met someone else, have you? Like, oh, I think I've been through Bruce Wayne himself has been through the ringer enough to be like, I know how this works. He's probably done this himself to countless people because he's a billionaire playboy and whatnot.
I'm just assuming then she must have got the impression that maybe this was like as a client kind of thing. Like, I don't know who goes to the circus with their client though in that profession.
That is a bizarre thing. Like, it's doctor-patient relationship they're supposed to have as well. Which you're going to be like, okay, so now we'll talk about your repressed anger, like in the middle of the acrobats.
I'd like to invite a date out. Have the whole, oh yes, make sure you dress up. And then since your formal date is now a trip to the circus, when I turn up dressed as a clown and they're in their smart clothes. What? I told you it was a formal date. What do you mean you weren't expecting the circus? Why are you wearing that ridiculous black clothes?
What's more ridiculous? I think I know whose side I am on. Honk, honk.
It would be amazing, though, because, in those first two movies, we kept talking about, like, oh, there's a little allusion to, like, Vertigo there. Like, within, like, the score, or within, like, this and that elements of, like, certain scenes of the first two movies. When Bruce Wayne was like, I gotta get you out of that, those clothes, and into a black dress. It turns out then he's actually turning into, like, a Jimmy Stewart and Vertigo thing, where, like, he's got her in, like, this vinyl black cat suit. It's like, oh, just basically trying to make Chase Meridian into Selena Kyle. And as it turns out, like, oh, Bruce Wayne is, like, really messed up in the head, it turns out.
Oh, we know that.
We'll say, though, and quite a refreshing twist, I was watching interviews with Nicole Kidman, and we know that, that Val Kilmer has a very, at this period of his career at least, very bad reputation for being like a difficult person to work with and stuff. And Joel Schumacher obviously didn't like him. The famous quote of him saying, like, he's only ever done two things for me. One was allowing me to cast him as Batman, and the second was, like, aggravating events enough that I'll never have to work with him ever again in my life. But the one person who did apparently get on with him was Nicole Kidman. She had a great bit of time for Val Kilmer. She was like, someone asked her about, like, all their chemistry and stuff, and she's like, yeah, he's very, very intense, but, like, we got on great. Like, he has a very weird sense of humor. I have a very weird sense of humor. So, like, yeah, they got on very well, apparently. Which is nice to hear, because at least freaking somebody was having a good time in that set. Like, Jim Carrey versus Tommy Lee Jones, Val Kilmer versus everybody else except Nicole Kidman, apparently.
Yeah, Kit, I'm sure that doesn't surprise you at all. Tommy Lee Jones and Jim Carrey did not get on. Could you ever see them getting on?
A great odd couple.
Oh, yeah. It is like an odd couple thing. You couldn't get two more different people. Bizarrely, they're both playing a similar character, though.
It's Men in Black 6.
Yes. I could see Jim Carrey in a Men in Black.
Yeah, that's
Like, it'd be, in any role, he could be an agent or he could just be an alien. Like, just as himself.
Yeah. Oh, now I want to see that, actually. Someone deep fake it, at least. Come on.
Deep fake Jim Carrey as Tommy Lee Jones in Men in Black.
Oh!
Then send that to Tommy Lee Jones and see what he says.
Just anger the man.
Or then, like, do a reverse, like, Ace Ventura, but it's Tommy Lee Jones's face on top of it. And he'd be like, you know what? I'd never examined that period of my career. I should have really done a lot more wacky comedies. I didn't think I could not sanction that kind of buffoonery. But now I think I can. Tommy Lee Jones, like 80 years old, going out and doing Ace Ventura 3 or whatever. Throwing his hip out within the first day of filming.
Oh my God. We need this in our lives.
One thing though is, like, I started looking into who has Val Kilmer been linked to romantically. And there's a ton. There's a ton of people. I won't get into all of them now because you could do an entire episode just about this guy's dating history.
Maybe we should.
Yeah, but one that leaped out to me because it was the first one as well. I was like, oh, what the hell? And it actually becomes quite relevant later on in the minute because one of the people sitting in the crowd reminded me of this person as well. But considering, like, okay, so Val Kilmer only became famous after Top Secret in 1984. And before that, he was like a theater guy. Like, he was known around the college theater circuit and stuff. But from 1982 until 1984, he dated Cher, which is weird because Cher was a big pop star for about 20 years before that. And now she's going out with this random actor that no one had heard of before. Of course, Cher also linked to being Catwoman, bizarrely, for various reasons. Over her lifetime. Like, back in 92, there was rumors she was going to be Catwoman.
Yeah.
Back in Dark Knight Rises, they're saying, oh, Cher's lined up to be Catwoman and all this stuff. She would be a much more interesting choice than Zoe Kravitz, I'll admit, at this point in time.
You're really harsh on it. She's going to end up being amazing or something. Just to...
That's the thing. I've never seen her do anything interesting. So now I'm just like, you got a lot to prove to me, Zoe Kravitz. But yeah, so yeah, Cher and Val Kilmer used to be like a hot item for a while. It's weird. You could like get photos of them like at red carpet events and stuff, where Val Kilmer's got like an insane mullet, and he's just arm in arm with Cher. She mentioned that apparently, like, oh, he was a great kisser. When we kissed, I thought my head would shoot right off my body. And then, appropriate enough, after going out with Val Kilmer, the next person that Cher would date in 1985 was Tom Cruise. So there you go, Nicole Kidman's future husband. And Cher went out with Val Kilmer from 1982 to 1984, and then went out to Tom Cruise. Val Kilmer himself, after dating Cher, his next person on the dating notch was Michelle Pfeiffer. So it's like, holy crap, there's a small world after all. In Hollywood.
Connected.
Yeah. But just from saying that, though, I'm trying to find the exact second. But oh yeah, so if you go to like second 42 of the minute, there's a woman sitting like to the right of the screen. Totally reminds me of Cher as well. So it's like, I was like, oh, it's a bit of a weird one, that one. But
I like the couple on the left.
Which one, like the Michael Bolton haired guy with like, it looks like Michael Bolton with the girl from the B-52s, basically.
Yeah, yeah.
And they got the like, crotchety looking kind of elder William Shatner sitting down the front as well, struggling to look like he's interested, like he's really like, I guess I'm shocked by what's happening here. But
I absolutely love it, like to the. Hang on, I'm trying to get my left and right the right way around here. To the left of Chase, Gordon.
Oh yeah.
His reactions, the childlike wonder on his face. It's look at him. It's cute.
Let's see,
He's like, oh, whoa.
Mayor Borg never took him out to the circus. Like he's always, I always wanted to go to this. He's like, he's so happy to be there. And then when like Harvey Dent shows up, he's like, Jim, I'm sorry to ruin the circus for you. I know you always wanted to go to it.
No, don't do it.
I was like, if I knew you were here, Jim, I would have waited to another night. I'm sorry.
He's the kind of guy who, when you go see fireworks, actually reacts to them by going, ooh. It's like, I've heard people do that. I'm like, what is wrong with you? Please stop.
Gonna tick that down on my list too. Acrobatics, not fussed by. Fireworks, outright don't like. Not a fan of fireworks.
I like them, but for like 2 minutes, and then I'm like, okay, I've seen that now.
Last bonfire night I was in Britain, they had a private showing of fireworks in the park. You had to pay to get into an enclosed area. And with some passing strangers' help, I climbed a tree and got quite close.
Ah, yes.
And that was exciting. That was like being in a war zone and getting hot bits of firework metal kept raining down on me.
Oh my God. I like the bangs and things. I think that the way it rattles your bones is quite fun.
Yeah. Best seats in the house. I kept climbing a tree and failing so miserably that a stranger eventually took pity on me. And
can someone help this fool
helped
out?
me. Yeah.
I've had a firework explode near me in Pakistan. It went flying off at the wrong angle, so I was like, hit the deck.
One thing we're going to have to finally address the friggin' elephant in the room here, though, is that so the Ringmaster gets everyone's attention by now, declaring, and now, Richard, the youngest flying Grayson, as if like, yes, at a mere 38 years old, this fully grown man is going to do something.
Right? Are we all on the same page? Like, there's no way this guy is the age he's supposed to be, right? Because he's clearly supposed to be under 18. I've brought this up before. Because when what's about to happen happens, he has to move in with Batman. Well, Bruce Wayne. He has to be taken in by someone as their ward or whatever. If you're over 18, you don't have to do that.
This is basically like Bruce Wayne has taken in a bum. He's just like some lazy asshole who like, you're a fully grown man. Like, I'm sorry your parents are dead. But Jesus Christ, just go out and do your own thing. Why is he having to look after you?
He's at least 26, right?
Yeah. Here's one of the craziest things. Because, like, well, initially in, like, classic Batman lore, like, Dick Grayson as a character was introduced in Detective Comics 38. Which is actually kind of weird considering, like, they got in, like, Robin the Boy Wonder. And, a mere 11 issues after Batman's own debut. Because you always have people like, Batman works better as a solo thing. And
yeah,
it always should have been Batman solo. But he only was ever really solo for like 11 issues initially. Like, and then they got in Robin very, very quickly.
So not even a year, probably.
Yeah. So like Batman's out, like 30, 39? And then, April...
if only it was 36, like this minute.
Oh, yeah, so he was introduced at issue, DC or Detective Comics 27, and then Dick Grayson, introduced in April 1940 with straight off the bat. They just did this story too. Like the first issue with Robin is just what happens in this. Not exactly, but like it's like acrobatics, the Flying Graysons, John and Mary, they die. Bruce Wayne takes in. But it's weird too. Like the front cover is like Batman standing by like one of those, the big paper drum things that you get in the circus, the clowns that burst out of, and it's Robin bursting out of it, and they're both like, "Hey, it's a new character," and it really reminded me of like when Milhouse jumps out in The Simpsons, just like, "What's up?" Because you're just like, they're really anticipating people are gonna love this character. It's like, you guys don't know how many people really hate Robin.
Poochie. He's the Poochie of Batman.
Exactly. Yeah, pretty much.
I like Robin.
You like Robin?
Yeah, I also like Luigi and Tails. So.
I like Luigi and
Tails are better than Luigi's the proper Mario brother.
He's doing all the work while Mario is just sitting with his feet up the whole time.
Exactly. And Tails is much cooler. Not only is he ginger, which automatically makes you much cooler, but he can fly.
Well, that's the thing. He can fly, and he can keep up with Sonic. So it's like, well, there you go. He's instantly better than him because he can do two of these amazing things.
Shouldn't the Sonic-controlled character be faster?
You think so, yeah. I guess he does speed ahead, but then Tails catches up to him very quickly. So it's like, well, if he's not as fast as them, then he's near enough, you know.
There's not much in it. Then again, he is called Miles Prower, which is very Batman, actually.
Oh, it'd be great though if they did like this Sonic the Hedgehog movie is coming up. They did a sequel where Sonic goes to the circus with his with the dates, and then Jim Carrey's Dr. Robotnik ambushes the circus, and the acrobatic Fox family that are doing some crap in the background end up dying. And Sonic has to take in Tails, even though he's like 35 years old. And Sonic's like, "What the hell are you talking about? Leave my chili dogs alone, you bum! Like, go and get your own." But the thing is, yeah. But my original point was going to be, in that original comic, Dick Grayson's supposed to be 8 years old. I think it's spanned out now into like, oh yeah, commonly it'd be like maybe early teens up to 16. I think in this, yeah, he's supposed to be 17. At this point in his life, Chris O'Donnell is 25 years old. And he looks
older.
Yeah. And one of the craziest things I found out was, when they were recasting for Batman, one of the people they had lined up was Ethan Hawke. And the thing is, like, Chris O'Donnell is born June 26th, 1970. And Ethan Hawke is born 6th of November, 1970. So they would have had a Robin that was older than Batman if they had gone with that.
Oh, that would have been amazing. What a twist.
We'll also say as well, in that age disparity, because remember back in the, a couple of weeks back, we're having to talk about like, Renee Russo was supposed to play Chase Meridian, but then they decreed that like, no, she's too old for Val Kilmer. Val Kilmer went out with Cher, and Cher was like, Val Kilmer's born 1959. Cher is born in 1940. So it's like, well, if he's hanging out with Cher, he clearly Val Kilmer's not averse to an older woman. So
no, he likes that. He likes that. Yeah, plus, it's Cher, Yeah, she's ageless.
So I just felt a little bad for but Renee Russo. She really, I suppose now she's in friggin' Avengers Endgame, so she doesn't care. But like, she did kind of get screwed over with the old Chase Meridian role. But but yeah. So then of course, back to the minute we have Richard, the youngest Flying Grayson, at a mere.
He's not a Richard. I'm sorry, he's not a Richard.
He is very much like, who is this dick?
And also, I'm not defending the age thing there, but to be fair, Niall, they do say he's the youngest Grayson. They don't say he's young. They're not wrong. They're not lying. He's the youngest Grayson.
Well, that'd be like introducing like Jeff Bridges as like, Jeff Bridges, the youngest of the Bridges brothers.
He is.
The circuses always pull that crap there, don't they? They always have, come and see the largest house cat in the tent.
It's like, well, it's not wrong. We didn't lie to you.
It just randomly came up just this minute to this random house cat, but
quick, see it while you can. Marvel at its beauty.
But this is like, so even if he's 20, he's the youngest, but it's still like he should have been a kid. Basically. Yeah. And I feel bad because I know you can get like precocious youths in film can be irritating. Like, I understand that. But this can be done well. Like, this is like only a couple of years after Terminator 2, which me saying that may instantly get people like, wait, you're not going to go down this road, are you? But Edward Furlong's John Connor, he was a kid. He wasn't that annoying in the movie.
He's annoying in the way he's supposed to be annoying.
Yeah.
Like, he's supposed to be a little bit of a cocky jerk.
But again, that's exactly what Dick Grayson should be. Yeah, really. So,
and they try and portray him as like a bit of a rebellious youth. He rides off on his motorcycle. It just doesn't work for a guy this old.
The thing is, at this point in his career, Joel Schumacher had just come off The Client, which made a child star of Brad Renfro, who of course went on. He was in Ghost World, died very tragically young and stuff. But like, so he's a little kid. You've worked with a child actor who was like, gifted for his age and stuff, Joel. Why didn't you get in Brad Renfro to play Dick Grayson?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Because then you have maybe there was just like, Joel Schumacher, we need someone with sex appeal, can't be a kid. We're going to have to get the sexiest man of the 90s, Chris O'Donnell, to come in. And maybe it was just like, we've got Mitch Gaylord doing the acrobatic stuff. We need someone who looks like him, basically, who is at least in their mid-20s, and we can pass off as being a teenager. and then they failed at that because they got a very blatantly 25-year-old man.
I know, what teenager has those sideburns?
Well, you've seen his dad's sideburns. That's
True. Runs in the family.
Yeah, it's his family in force. Like every Friday night, he sits him down with clippers. Like, I'm carving these in the side of your face, kid.
To be rebellious, he shaves them off. His dad has to sit him down and like get angry with him. It's like, they're the family sideburns.
That'd be the big reveal when he's in the Robin outfit. It's like, you shaved your sideburns off. Like, yes, I found a new father figure in you, Bruce.
Oh.
So because Clark Kent Superman disguise is just glasses. He just sticks some sideburns on.
Yes.
No one can recognize him.
That's even better. They say a haircut can completely change your face, so there you go.
Well, it is was it the talented Mr. Ripley? It's just like, Matt Damon takes off his glasses, combs his hair the other way. People don't know who he is. Like, ta-da! I was like, I'm pretty sure that's still Matt Damon, but whatever.
Now, Dick Grayson's going to do a move called a death drop, which instantly made me think of Drag Race, because that's what they all do in the dancing, especially La Ganja Estranja.
I mean, you never know, John. Next minute, that might be what he actually does.
It could be. He just goes, okay, Bat Minute, let's get sickening. Boom.
As his spotlight falls on Bruce Wayne, he just shakes his head. It's like, sashay away. The rest of the movie, Dick Grayson hates Bruce Wayne. He's like, you threw me out of the circus, you asshole.
So Dick Grayson, drag queen, as we all know. Well, he's clearly big on the gay scene, at least.
Yeah, well, that's. I wouldn't be surprised if like that earring was some kind of signal as well, because it seems so.
According to Wikipedia, left wing, although I think there's a citation needed, but it's repeated across the internet in a few places.
Okay.
Left ear is straight, right ear is gay.
That was a thing back in the day, wasn't it? With the little signals to be discreet.
So what does it count like his right ear or the right ear as we're facing him?
I think it's one's own right ear.
So he's on his own left, I guess, isn't he?
So that means he's announcing himself as a straight man who likes ear piercings.
What? Most unorthodox.
Code for bisexual, at least, probably.
Yeah. Oh, but bisexuals is like it's a nose ring. It's like in between the two. We'll also say though, there is because someone like if Tim Burton had done this, there would have been a much more like elaborate circus stuff and whatnot. We'll say in about 42 seconds again. There's that one guy who kind of jumps into shot, who is in a very memorable outfit because this kind of yellow thing with like. He looks like the tango guy, basically. With
He looks like there's a little chocolate button sweets you get that are white chocolate.
Yeah. Part of
what are they called? I know those. Yeah, with the little sprinkles sort of stuck to them.
Yeah, they're the cheapest sweet to imaginable, really.
I like them because they're a step up from. I really, really hate those cheap, fake chocolate mice that you get.
I was gonna say I'd never minded them, but it was more because like they were available at the time.
Exactly. If you
in retrospect, they were terrible. But I just
they're
ate
like
them.
chalk with white chocolate flavoring on them.
Yeah. Weren't those sweets though? They were part of the licorice all sorts set, weren't they?
They're the only one I liked. Yeah, because I hate licorice.
Remember the first movie? They had the Joker's friggin' floats had the licorice all sorts in them. So maybe it's an indication of what's about to happen.
It's a clue.
I actually took this guy because he reminded me a little bit with the multicolor baubles and whatnot. And I was thinking like, it's probably not, but like they could have done it. Where it reminded me of the DC villain Crazy Quilt. Crazy Quilt's one of the most mocked of Batman characters. Basically, is a guy. I think he's partially blind, and then he has this headpiece that like shines bright lights so he can see. Shines multicolored lights so he can see what he's doing and whatnot.
Shine bright like a headpiece.
Like he's a really lame villain, but he has a very elaborate multicolored outfit, and he's got multicolored balls on his head. And I was like. And the thing is with Crazy Quilt is that he has a pathological hate of Dick Grayson because Dick Grayson nearly blinds him at one point. And then he pursues him when Dick Grayson's no longer Robin. He's become Nightwing. Crazy Quilt nearly kills Jason Todd, the follow-up Robin. So it's kind of like if you had a guy just dressed up as Crazy Quilt here. This is a little nod. It would have been pretty sweet. But And you could say maybe that's an illusion, because I at least got it. Like, if it was an illusion, it's like, oh, multicolored balls in this guy's outfit. Crazy Quilt had crazy outfit with multicolored balls in his head. Maybe it's an illusion. And this guy's got a big ball on his head.
It's an origin story. He's going to be in the next movie, right?
Oh, we'll find out next year, John. But then things get interesting in the circus because he's doing the awe-inspiring death drop without the safety of a net. So there you go. Finally, you got what you wanted. There's no goddamn net in the act anymore.
It's not quite the tag of piranhas, but it'll do.
At least he'll go splat.
I just tell myself that Annette is his mum's name or something.
Without a net.
I kept making jokes to myself all week as well, actually, like, without the safety of a net. Like, Annette Benning's like, oh, that's it, I'm out. I'm not around here. I'm not looking out for you anymore, kid.
Also disappointed that, of course, it's the end of my minutes, and now I don't know what the death drop is or quite what happens next. You've left me on a cliffhanger.
Huh?
Oh, and you'll never find out. Because our guests are forbidden from ever watching any other minutes.
We'll also say, though, because actually was almost going to be like, oh, leave it till next week. But no, the Ringmaster is out of the movie pretty much now after this minute. Because, he goes off and then he's attacked by random thugs. Other information I had about Daniel Reichart, the guy who plays him, is not so much about him, but apparently he was the longtime husband of someone who was also quite famous. A woman called Andrea Marcovici, who I've never heard of, but apparently she's a very renowned lounge singer. But she's actually in quite a few things. She was in The Front, which is like a Woody Allen movie back in the 70s. She was in The Stuff, classic, terrible, terrible horror movie that our mutual friend of the show, Ash, Doc Horror, really, really loves The Stuff.
Yeah, I know that one. He's probably made me watch it.
It's one I've watched trying to like, oh, here's so bad it's good. It's just really, really bad. But Ash really, really loves it. One that is so bad it's good is she's in The Hand with Michael Caine. Which is the movie where Michael Caine plays a cartoonist who's he's waving his hand out a car window and it gets chopped off by another car, and then he gets the hand comes back to life and starts causing havoc in his life, and it's just bits where like Michael Caine's going like me hand, me bloody hand, and like it's hilarious.
That just makes me think of the punk song Gary Gilmore's Eyes by the Adverts, because that's a song about how they read in the paper that the killer Gary Gilmore had donated his eyes for transplant when he died. So it was like a song all about like, oh, what would happen if you got this killer's eyes put in your head?
I remember that song, not that movie. It was Body Parts, where the guy gets like a killer arm attached to him. Remember that the video cover? It was one of those ones. The video cover that used to scare the life out of me when I was a kid. Finally saw it when I was an adult. Terrible movie, and it's not even scary. Slightly scary, you know. But
I always think of The Simpsons, though, as always, where Homer gets the hair transplant.
Yeah. It's like, I love you, little dude. But The Hand's also directed by Oliver Stone, of all people, before he was a big shot. It's crazy.
Holy crap.
But then beyond that, like actual proper good things that Andrea Marcovici was in was episodes of Taxi, obviously friggin' starring Danny DeVito, who's in Batman Returns, and Andy Kaufman, who was played by Jim Carrey in Man in the Moon. We have to make the connections to Taxi are so frequent in this show now. This was like, yep. So, but she was on Taxi at one point. She was also in Velvet Buzzsaw, came out this year. Pretty.
That was good. I liked that.
I think I expected too much of it. Like, I liked it, but I was expecting to like really love it. And
I get that.
And I thought it was going to be way better than it was. And I was like, oh, it was okay, I guess. But and then she's also been in a movie called Smile, Jenny, You're Dead, which I just like that title. And the big one that stood out to me was she's in an episode of Arliss, of course, starring Robert Wuhl. And within that, she plays a character called Robin. So it's everything's connected, baby.
Every single thing, god damn it.
But I just feel bad because like this is the Ringmaster's wife. It's like, you yourself, Ringmaster, you ain't got much going on. But your wife, she's got tons of connections to Batman.
That sounds like a romance novel, The Ringmaster's Wife.
We should write it like Batman Forever fan fiction about this Ringmaster's wife.
We'll have our own side publishing unit, like our Mills and Boon. Be a Bat-minute romance novels.
And apparently every man in it has to be described exactly looking like Chris O'Donnell, because we know that sells. That sells to the public. And then I'll have my one passion project where the guy looks like Jack Nicholson.
No!
Sold
That'll
2 copies, and
the
both
business.
both of them were bought by me.
He could tame the lions, but he couldn't tame her heart. And
Oh,
when it came to love, she wasn't clowning around.
Oh!
Perfect. See, this is a trio with a writing team on this thing.
So sign up for Patreon. You get a free copy of The Ringmaster's Wife coming next year.
We should write our own fan fiction as side things and sell them. I think that'd be quite funny. Oh, I've never done that
I'm
before.
looking for writers' jobs. I'll do that.
Yay!
Look at all fan fiction is essentially porn as well. Like
Mostly.
it will inevitably just drop instantly into porn at the within the slightest hint that it might do. Oh no, it's instantly going to become porn. And probably if it's internet fan fiction, very, very unpleasant porn as well.
Yes, and quite often romance between people who shouldn't be romancing each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that. All the notes I've got for this particular minute. Do you guys have anything else about this minute in particular that you want to bring up?
Other than the final shot is the ringmaster getting attacked.
Yeah,
by who? Why? What?
What will become of his wife? Like, what's she gonna do?
That's what we need to know. What will become of his wife? But that's about it.
Yeah. Kit, do you have anything else you want to bring up about minute 36 in particular?
Not that I can think of. I think I'm about battered out, battered, yeah. Some kind of sports analogy there if I knew sport, but I don't.
What? I thought you were a very sporting person. You're always on that rugby field, throwing the thing.
rugby table with the old discus. Yeah.
Yeah. That's you, isn't it?
There is only thing I can say is none of us mentioned the clown with the hammer, and I think that that's he has a nice scene between 37 and 40 seconds.
How could we have forgotten him? Look at him.
He's somewhere between Timmy Mallet and a danger to everyone around him.
Well, I'm kind of almost scared with Kit because I think the last time we asked about your history with something, we unveiled that your idol Dean Cain apparently was a horrible person. So I kind of like, do you have any history with Batman Forever? Like, you're gonna come out like, oh, I thought Val Kilmer seemed like the nicest man in the world, and he would never harm a fly.
I thought that until we did this.
All I can remember is something about feeling odd feelings towards Robin, and it's something about him folding clothes using his skills as a trapeze artist, which doesn't seem right.
Oh my god, everyone seems to love that minute.
I mean, it's how does trapezing tie into clothes folding? I'm not making the leap here.
And apparently he's somehow a martial arts expert as well because of the trapeze skills.
I think it is like Lol has called those minutes as well. I remember saying they're like, do you want any scenes in particular? It's just like, I remember there's a bit where he's like folding clothes with a mop or something. It's like
I need it.
It's like, all right, I'll mark you down for that.
Right, he's folding clothes with a mop.
Yeah.
This minute's sounding better and better.
Sorry, we didn't give you that one.
But of course, now, yes, I will, John, reveal the answer to the riddle.
Oh wait, shit, what was the riddle again? I've totally forgotten since it's been a whole week. What's tall when it's young and short when it's old?
I am tall.
Oh, a candle! A candle!
That's it. That's exactly it. Yes, it's a candle.
Oh, yes.
So you got there
in the nick of time.
Nice one.
Overcame the hangover and the time to be like, yes,
a week later.
And you know what, Kit? Normally, what I do now is toss a coin to see if we're going to murder the guest or let them live. But I think because you got that right, you deserve to live.
I've already fled the country in preparation. Damn.
We've got people. We've got agents. They're watching you right now through a scope.
I still haven't worked out euros. They all look the same. It's really frustrating in dark bars. Like 1s, 2s, and 5s
Yes, we will depart into the dark, dark night. Kit, would you like to remind everyone where they can find you and your wonderful music?
You can find my music that's on a bit of a hiatus since my instrument is in a foreign country. But, it's the internet, it exists, and maybe it will exist again. I hope it does. If you Google Rat Bit Kit with quotation marks to avoid advice on what to do if you're bitten by either a rat or me, find that and listen to it. And if you can stand it, listen to more.
Hey, do it, people, do it. If you can't stand it, you're a fool, you're a weak child, and you don't deserve music. You don't deserve any of this. You don't deserve this show. So, yes, do join us again. Next week we'll have new minutes and a new guest. And in the meantime, come to the Bat Minute Listeners Cave. Post some messages. Doesn't even have to be about the episodes. It can just be Batman. Just post about the comics you're reading. Whatever you want. Any Batman stuff.
I think recently just posted a picture of a duck that had Max Shrek's haircut.
See?
So
you can do that.
Yeah.
Post ducks.
I'm still, it warms my heart every time I see that picture now when it pops up.
Well, do that. Pick up a t-shirt. Most importantly, though, people, come to iTunes. Rate and review and subscribe, because that's the most important thing. That pushes us up the charts, and we seem to go up the charts in random countries. We want it in America. Come on, move us up the charts in America. We get number one in like Lithuania and things like that. It's weird.
What's up, Lithuania?
Woo! So do it in America, and then we'll shake the DC Comics universe to its core. And in the meantime, yes, come and chat. Come and chat. We will speak to you again on Monday. Through the wonders of the internet, we'll have more Batman Forever.
Next time, countdown to carnival carnage, an obviously adult adolescent acrobat readies for a family ritual while enraptured admirers revel in the daredevilry. But while this fully grown funambulist and his father fail to fumble, which returning reft-faced rascal will reveal he is ready to rumble. Find out next week. Same Bat Pod, different Bat Minute.
Ba-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.